White Lung Premonition album review, let's chat about it. Hey friends, what's going on? John here from What's Spinning. Here tonight to chat about this latest album from White Lung. These gals and guys are a Canadian punk rock band, and for many years were real sleeper hits for one of my favorite punk bands around. I mean, while not as polished or well written as some of their later albums, their self-titled debut was very solid. I did enjoy the urgency to it, the energy, the electric vibes of it. They had a ton of charisma as well. But if I kind of liked that album, by the time 2012's Sorry came out, I absolutely was head over heels for White Lung. This album absolutely rips. It is so simple. It is 19 minutes of nothing but great riffs, catchy hooks, and punk spirit that just you don't see anymore. It also received a lot of critical acclaim, which made me so happy. And if I adored Sorry, by the time that Deep Fantasy came around, I thought that I had found my go-to for modern punk. This album was even better. They were writing catchier hooks, better lyrics, and just the spirit all around was so infectious. Here's the thing, though. Watch that. Here's the thing, though, and I'm going to drop a hot take on y'all. The last time we heard from them, Paradise, people were freaking out about this album. Critics were calling it their best album. And, I just wasn't feeling it. I mean, tracks like Dead Weight, I Beg You, and Hungry were just really fantastic punk rippers. The production was a little too shiny for me, and I just felt like the band's, charisma was waning a little bit. I was feeling a little bit of a disconnect, and it has been 6 years since we've heard from White Lung, and leading up to this album, they revealed that this is going to be their final album as a band. This is their swan song, their farewell, and I thought the singles were pretty decent, but I can't help feeling that this is still just a sort of mixed bag. I mean, they do still come to the table with, I think, more better material than they did on their last go, which does make me happy at the end of the day. Like, Hysteric is a fantastic intro. The energy, the urgency, the charisma, it's all here. The wild hooks as well. This track is a thunderous return to form. And it's got a little edge to it. It's not as gussied up and, pristine as some of the material on their last album, which I personally love. I really love Tomorrow as well. The production here specifically just gives this track such a sonic, crisp edge to it that just sounds so, unique and new and relevant, but also has the anger and urgency of where punk has come from. The soloing during the chorus here also is insanely memorable. This is probably my favorite track here. It's a thunderous tune, and if you're looking for a great performance from frontwoman Mish Barber Way, look no further. This is easily her best performed track here. Under Glass is a real nice surprise as well, mostly because some of the band's sort of softer or maybe low-key tunes in the past have been a major letdown for me. But this is absolutely fantastic and just a really well-crafted, sort of dreamy pop tune. Hell, I would like to hear more in this vein from the band. It's a kind of shame that we don't hear more of it. And by the time that this track gets a little crunchier towards the chorus, it comes off genuinely exciting. If You're Gone also is a fantastic track. I do like the more subdued vocals that we get from Mish on this track. It's not something that we get too often, and when we do, it's not usually done this tastefully, but it's really good here. And on top of that, as far as an emotional track goes, I don't think you're going to find anything more potent than this. This is right where their album should be sounding right now, and not only that, but it's a great salute to their sound. Sadly, though, there still is a disconnect that I hear in their music right now, and just they still sound a little faceless, which is so sad because of how much of a role they were on for so long. Like Date Night, it's just so blah. This sums up a lot of the thoughts that I had on their last album. Yes, the energy is here. It is a throttling, upbeat tune. But there is once again a disconnect. It's just not where I like hearing this band. Mountain is once again so average. I just feel like we've been here before with the band. I feel like they've wrote this track so many times, and all those times it's more compelling than this. And it has that energy that I love from the band. The charisma is here, and I appreciate that. But it doesn't really stick with me, and it doesn't have a catchy hook to really, lean on. I just know the band can do better because they've proven that, and I think Girl is the worst track here. I mean, it's the hardest hitting and most punk-oriented track here, which I thought would be exciting. But it's overkill. All steak, no sizzle. Honestly, it's just, You know, it's flashy. It looks nice on paper. It sounds good from a distance, but there's nothing going on underneath. It's an explosion of guitars and noise, which is exciting for the moment, but there is no passion underneath. Oh, it's a mixed bag, sadly, and I just wanted them to go out on such a good foot, but I can't say that they do overall. Like Bird, this track I just have so many mixed feelings on the other hand. For one, I actually really like the production here, and this instrumental is pretty sweet. Outside of that, I feel like we've lost something. These lyrics are so cheesy, and overall, these performances are just underwhelming. But then they bring out One Day, and this is a really great late album track, a quick 1-2 punch. I think it's one of the best overall tracks here. You know, the performances are heartfelt, the solos are right on point, this hook is mammoth. It's also just really impressive overall and makes me kind of sad that this is the band's last outing, because they do still, you know, have it when they focus. But then they break out Winter as a finale. This is one of the heaviest and wildest and most upbeat tracks here. Once again, lyrically, this is not my cup of tea. From the band, there is something really missing, and because of that, it brings everything else down with it. It is not the finale that I was hoping for. This is not the album overall that I was hoping for. I mean, I think overall, I do like this more than their last album, Paradise, because I'm still not a big fan of the album at all. And I still think that at times there is material here that just proves what White Lung can do and has done over the years. And that's been one of the more charismatic, well-performed, and catchy bands in punk with just a great attitude and great urgency and energy. But this is a mixed bag. There's a disconnect here. And that's sad to say because I know this is their last album and I wish it wasn't because I still think they could do something really special. But this is just a very average album, I think. I'm feeling a light 6, but let me know what you all think down below. If you liked the video, be sure to give us a like, give us a subscribe, and let me know down below what you would like for me to chat about in the future. And until next time, have a great day, friends.